Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitske. We begin with a human trafficking bust 2 years in the making. According to Bakersfield police, multiple agencies responded to the Desert Star Hotel around 6:30 this morning. Kern County District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer called the Desert Star a modern-day brothel. She said her office will partner with the U.S. Attorney's Office on the cases resulting from this investigation.
Human trafficking is something that is a horrific form of abuse. Many times these predators focus on runaways, children, people who are fleeing other forms of abuse. They use fraudulent and other coercive type means to kidnap and trap people into this life and then victimize them for a period of time.
Police could not provide information on how many people were arrested nor if any children were part of the law enforcement operation. BPD says they will release more information later today. And Bakersfield police arrested 2 people accused of human trafficking earlier this week. Now, officers took 31-year-old Melton Smith and 22-year-old Leah Wheeler into custody on Tuesday. They face human trafficking charges as well as pimping of a minor, sexual assault of a minor, false imprisonment, and conspiracy, according to BPD. Police said the victim, a 17-year-old, has been reunited with family. And in your 17 Court Watch, a fight last year that left 1 woman dead started from an argument over a man, according to a witness report. 20-year-old Jennifer Maldonado is expected to be formally arraigned today on a first-degree murder charge. She's accused of stabbing and killing Angelina Marie Carmen Betts back on May 21st. According to a court report, another witness told police the 2 women fought and Betts was injured. That witness said they tried to drive Betts to a hospital but crashed at the intersection of Manial Street and Mount Vernon Avenue. Betts died. U.S. Marshals took Maldonado into custody earlier this week after she had evaded arrest for months. And Kern County Sheriff's Office is investigating after skeletal remains were found in a desert area in Ridgecrest. KCSO said deputies were called to the area near Jack's Ranch Road and West Ridgecrest Boulevard at around 12:15 p.m. yesterday for a report of skeletal remains found in the area. Detectives were called to the scene and their investigation is ongoing. The coroner is working to determine if the remains are from a human. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Sheriff's Office at 861-3110 or the Secret Witness Hotline at 322-4040. And the Highway Patrol is investigating a crash that killed a motorcyclist yesterday. According to the CHP's traffic incident information page, the collision between the motorcycle and a semi-truck happened around 6:45 p.m. at Old River and Millix Roads. It's not clear what caused the crash, but it appears the driver of the semi made a turn into the path of the motorcycle. And today marks 32 days since Orrin and Orson West were reported missing from their California City home. On Monday, a candlelit vigil will be held in honor of the boys. A reward of $100,000 is being offered for anyone who can help investigators find them and bring someone to justice for their disappearance. Cal City Police Chief John Walker says his officers are following up on every tip they receive. That vigil for Orrin and Orson West will be on Monday at 6 p.m. at 10717 Aspen Avenue. Candles will be provided for those who show up. And the Kern County Sheriff's Office is searching for a group of people who chased 2 girls in a white SUV. Now, this happened on the evening of November 24th. Deputies say the 2 girls were skateboarding in the Voorhees Elementary parking lot on Pioneer Drive when a white SUV approached them. As they drove by, the girls say the people in the SUV started yelling at them. Then they say the SUV pulled into the parking lot, drove towards the girls, and a man also got out of the SUV and started chasing them. The 2 girls ran to a nearby home and called 911. KCSO is looking for a white older model SUV, possibly a Chevrolet Tahoe or GMC Yukon with large chrome wheels, tinted windows, and paint damage to the hood. The driver, the man who chased the girls, and possibly 1 or 2 more people inside the SUV. If you have any information, contact KCSO at 861-3110. Well, now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic in Kern County. Kern Public Health reported 4 more deaths and 685 new cases today. Our death toll now stands at 587. Nearly 39,000 people are recovering at home with the virus. 415 people are being treated in area hospitals right now, according to state data. And the CDC has updated its guidance about when a person should get the coronavirus vaccine's second dose. The recommended time between doses is 21 days for Pfizer's and BioNTech's vaccine and 28 days for Moderna's vaccine. However, the CDC now says that while the second dose should be administered as close to the recommended time as possible, it can be scheduled up to 6 weeks later if necessary. Also, the agency says it is only under exceptional situations where a person can get the second dose that comes from a different vaccine. Such situations would include an instance when the first vaccine is no longer available. And Rite Aid is expanding its COVID-19 testing to include new self-swab testing locations. Now, starting today, they will open 60 free drive-thru test sites across the nation. They will also expand testing eligibility to anyone aged 4 and older, regardless of whether you have symptoms. To reserve a time slot for testing, you have to pre-register on the company's website. Rite Aid pharmacies are also working to become vaccine providers. And this week, Edwards Air Force Base began administering vaccines to first responders and medical personnel on base. Members of the 412th Medical Group vaccinated healthcare providers, healthcare support, and emergency and safety personnel within the 412th test wing. All those eligible to receive the shots at Edwards can show up at the Airman Family Readiness Center after 10 a.m. and request the vaccine, which is subject to daily availability. And a reminder, you can visit Kern Public Health's website for an interactive map of vaccine providers near you. Then call one of those sites just to make an appointment. Head to kernpublichealth.com. And 17 News is your one-stop shop for more information on vaccines, testing, and other important resources. Just visit our website at kget.com. Click on the coronavirus tab for the latest on the pandemic here in Kern County. And Kern County Public Health Director Matt Constantine, who's been at the forefront of our local response to the pandemic, is retiring. Constantine confirmed the information with 17 News yesterday evening, but did not say why. The Board of Supervisors will hold a closed session next Tuesday to discuss the appointment of a new director. Well, officials released local unemployment numbers for the end of the year. Kern County's unemployment rate was estimated at 11.3% for December, according to the State Employment Development Department. That's an increase of almost 2% from the month before. The state of California has an unadjusted unemployment rate of 8.8% in December, and the national rate was 6.5%, according to EDD. At this time last year, the estimate for Kern was 7.1%. Well, Lotto fever as the Mega Millions jackpot closes in on $1 billion. The jackpot for tonight's Mega Millions drawing is $970 million. That's the third largest jackpot in U.S. history. If there's a winner, the lump sum cash option is $716 million before taxes. The Mega Millions jackpot has been climbing since mid-September. That's 37 weeks of no one matching all 6 numbers and the twice weekly drawings, marking the longest stretch ever with no winner. According to lottery officials, the largest jackpot in history was $1.59 billion. That was a Powerball prize in 2016, which was split 3 ways. And Ford is recalling 3 million vehicles to replace Takata airbags that could explode in a crash. That defect prompted the largest automotive recall in U.S. history of more than 67 million vehicles. Safety regulators ordered Ford to recall the driver's side airbag, which the company had resisted for the past few years. Those affected vehicles include older model Ford Rangers, Fusion, Edge, and Lincoln MKZ. And a local Target employee arrested on suspicion of embezzling more than $30,000 says she's the victim of a scam. 37-year-old Becky Fernandez was arrested back on December 27th. Target corporate office said Fernandez was arrested and terminated after she violated store policies, including removing cash from the store and giving it to scammers. An investigation began after the store contacted police and provided video evidence. She pleaded not guilty to felony embezzlement charges. Fernandez is due back in court on March 24th. Well, happening right now, you can satisfy those fair food cravings as the Kern County is holding another fair food drive-thru event. Now, when last year's fair was canceled, food vendors set up in the parking lot so people could get their fair food fix. Things like cinnamon rolls, lobster fries, corn dogs, and more. It was so popular that they wanted to do another fair food drive-thru, and that is running through Sunday and again next weekend. Hours are from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, go to kerncountyfair.com.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to KGET.com.